you see, that is one of the major reasons you've seen us gather to address press now, because they said to be forewarned is to be forearmed. And if you allow what happened in 2023 to repeat itself, it will be to the benefit of APC and Bola Tinubu. And they have already started, quotes me, they have already started sponsoring some so-called obedience who have started clamoring for P2B to independently run. So some of them you see in that obedience as are APC people who are planted there to always be saying P2B come and run, P2B come and run. And they know that if P2B runs outside the coalition, it is to their own credit. And that is why, that is the essence, that is the reason for this now. Now, going to the other one, we are not saying Amechi or anybody or P2B should not run. They are prominent and they are patriotic, they are, fantastic Nigerians. They merit the position. But what we're saying is that about the only reason I feel a political party is formed is to be able to win election. Any political party that is not planning or is not skewing towards winning election is an NGO. It's no longer a political party, but a non-governmental organization. So if you want to win election, remember what APC did in 2015. They gathered all the good, the bad, the ugly, irrespective of where they were coming from. Some of them were from the same zone, some of them were from the same state, with the sole aim of dislodging PDP and Jonathan. They carried out propaganda, they did all manner of evil against Nigeria. That you have seen one of them in the recent time saying that Jonathan was fantastic, he was doing everything, he was doing well, but they were still playing every good thing he was doing down. So, having said that, you and I know that if they go for free, there is nothing there has never been anywhere that, even in America, apart from in heaven, if there will be election, that election has been said to be 100% free and fair. But what we're saying is that these people, if they have the Nigerian project at heart, and they know that, yes, they actually want these people out, and Nigerians are yearning, the way Nigerians are yearning for better change, that it is Atiku who is from the north. Because you have to be strategic in focusing and trying to come up with this strategy. Atiku is from the north. And you and I know that the north are the most, in quote now, determined people to make sure that Bola Tinubu leaves office. And if you give them the candidate, and remember, it's not just being unfair if Atiku flies the flag. The South has taken more than the North in the project since 1999 till now. And they are saying, Atiku, considering his age, Atiku will not, by 2031, Atiku should have been 84 years or 85, thereabout. So Nigeria is not Cameroon, where Paul Biya is 92, he wants to run again. So that time, Atiku would have people like us who will still come down and tell Atiku, say, if anybody is clamoring that Atiku should go for second time, we will say no. So a P2B that is saying that being an Igbo person, coming from the southeast, P2B telling anybody, I have a lot of friends from the north, and the P2B has projected himself in the recent time to have been somebody that cannot say what is obtainable. You can't see at his age, P2B will come and become president of this country and go for only one term. Imagine, remember, Southeast since 1990 now has never tested the presidency. And somebody from the Southeast will come and take one term or 4 years and say he's stepping aside. I think that is the greatest lie of this century. So what we are saying is that since it has been skewed that there is going to be, the rotational presidency will commence from 2031, and Atiku will manage the remaining 4 years, and package this thing, revitalize the economy with P2B if he so would want to be, then hand over the presidency to somebody from the Southeast. I have been a little bit privy to some of those documents, and we know that if Atiku I know will not renege on this arrangement, Atiku will go for one term of 4 years, and the leadership of this country will be transferred to the Southeast for 6 years of one single term. So it will be rotating like that. So if we believe that this country is sinking, this country is dying, Amechi knows that if he contests election with Atiku, Amechi knows that in a primary election, Atiku will win them. P2B knows that if he goes into primary, forget these emotional shenanigans you see around. These things are not translated when it comes to primaries. Primary elections are done, within the confines of the party guidelines and programs. So if you don't have the wherewithal in the political manipulation and mathematics, you will find it difficult to scale through. So, but in all of that, we are saying that whether they are going to do a free and fair or they're going to do a free and black election, what we are saying is that this is the only way this Bola Tinubu, this T-Pen, this APC will be chased out of our villa, and Nigerians will take back their country. Apart from that, if you want to do free and fair, you want to do a free and fair, Amechi will come and take. Maybe if you want to do free and fair, Bola Tinubu will pump money into the ADC, into the coalition. They have the money to pump in to manipulate the system. And when they manipulate the system, P2B will win. And if P2B wins the primaries, I bet you, P2B, how many votes will come from Southeast? I am not saying P2B is not qualified. We are concerned about the reality on ground now. The reality is that P2B cannot win election now. Forget this blackmail, emotional blackmail people are jumping. They are all APC people trying to make P2B, trying to balkanize the coalition so that P2B will pull out and they will begin to clap for P2B that yes, you can run. And the South, remember Bola Tinubu, if he contests again, the North will believe that he has a constitutionally stipulated remaining 4 years. And if any fresh person is coming from the South, the North will not trust a fresh person that is coming. So in so doing now, if the coalition would want to be reasonable and fair enough to Nigerians, because Nigerians will not take it lightly with them if they fail to rescue Nigerians and Nigeria from the hands of from the shackles of these enemies that have taken us 200 years backward since they took over in 2015. I think that is the best analysis somebody like me would have given. Thank you very much. Governor, that supposed to go to the South. And they now said because of that, Atiku cannot vice. So, no, if the coalition says that, I think that the essence of even forming the coalition will have been defeated in the first instance. Because nobody can say it. If anybody says it, we will know that I would rather sit in my house and not to mobilize for the ADC and not even belong to ADC. Because the essence of, like I said earlier, the essence of forming a political party is to win election. If you form a political party every year you want to run election and you want to be a candidate and you are not winning election, you are not doing justice, you are not being fair to your members of your party. The best thing we should be looking at now, like APC did. Remember, APC went and brought Buhari from nowhere and painted Buhari to be Messiah, painted Buhari to be Jesus Christ and Muhammad, and he told Nigerians that this man, within 3 days, security will go. Within 3 days, dollar will return to 1 naira. Within 3 days, food, you will be picking naira on the ground. That nobody will steal, no bandits, no insecurity. Buhari came in and started telling Nigerians that he does not have magic to perform, that there is no magician here. So we know that there won't be magic. But an Atiku Abubakar, who is a seasoned administrator, a businessman that has a relationship across board, that can call anybody. There is no family in this country that does not know the name of Atiku Abubakar. And there is nobody in the Southeast that will hear that Atiku Abubakar is the candidate and that will not come out immediately to vote for ADC. So if you give it a Southerner, if you give a Southerner, give it to Amechi, give it to P2B, and don't forget, the PDP, the Wike has skilled a PDP to give the ticket to this governor of Oyo State, Makinde. And Makinde is going to be an extension of Bola Tinubu ticket. So if Makinde takes the ticket, he will just simply bring it to Bola Tinubu, say, Egbo, this is our ticket. Oh. How are we going to do with it? He said, yeah, keep it. I'll give you 10 billion. Makinde will join his campaign trail immediately. So these are poop. I call them feeding bottle politicians. When Atiku there is nothing Bola Tinubu. In fact, Bola Tinubu became more prominent in this country before Tinubu. So what is Tinubu going to give Atiku Abubakar to make Atiku Abubakar compromise on his ambition? So if you give it to P2B, P2B will be singing consumption and production, and there is nothing. Nigeria is not about consumption and production. We need to rescue this country first. Then before we begin to produce, before we begin to consume. So the issue is that Amechi, fine. He's a refined Nigerian, he's a good man. But we don't need such good men now. We need to rescue this country. And it's only through Atiku Abubakar, the only human being alive today. I say it every time. Atiku Abubakar is the only man alive now that could look Bola Tinubu in the face, in the eyes, and say, my friend, get away. What will Bola Tinubu give Atiku Abubakar? Atiku Abubakar is even older than him and more healthier. With the age Bola Tinubu says he has, he's 69, his daughter is 60 years. And we know what it means. We know how many years Atiku Abubakar is. So we know that Nigeria needs to be rescued. And the only person that can rescue Nigeria this time is Atiku Abubakar. So Friday.